and welcome to Culture Today. The topic for our discussion is one that's very relevant in the 21st century. Are video games a form of art? Video games are a huge part of modern life for millions of people, but there's still a big debate about their cultural value. Do they belong in the same category as paintings, films, or music? Or are they something else completely? To help us explore this question, I have two experts with me today who have very different views. First, we have Liam, a game developer and a strong believer that video games are a modern art form. Welcome, Liam.
Thank you, Chloe. I'm happy to be here.
And joining us is Sophia, an art historian who sees video games from a different perspective. Welcome, Sophia.
Thank you for having me.
This is a fascinating and complex topic, and I'm looking forward to a great discussion. Let's begin. Liam, would you like to start by sharing your opinion?
Thank you, Chloe. I'd be happy to. For me, the answer is simple and clear. Yes, video games are art. In fact, I believe they're the most exciting and important art form of our time. A good game isn't just something you play. It's something you experience on a very deep level. It stays with you long after you turn off the screen. First, we should understand that video games use many types of traditional art. They have amazing visual art. The worlds that are built, from fantasy kingdoms to futuristic cities, are created by talented artists. The characters themselves are designed with incredible detail. Then, there's the music. Video games have beautiful music, just like a movie soundtrack. The score of a game can make you feel excited during a challenge, or sad during an emotional moment. The music guides your feelings and makes the experience much richer. And of course, they have stories. Modern video games tell stories with interesting characters and powerful plots. Games like The Last of Us or Red Dead Redemption 2 Feet tell stories that are as emotional and complex as any award-winning film. They explore themes of family, loss, and what it means to be human. But games do something that no other art form can do. They add interactivity. You, the player, are an active participant in the art. Your choices can change the story and the world around you. You're not just a passive observer. In a game like Journey, your actions create a unique and personal experience. There are no words, but you travel through a beautiful desert and can meet other players. The feeling of connection and discovery is something you create yourself. You don't just watch the story, you help create it. This connection is very deep and emotional. Art is something that makes you feel and think. It shows you new worlds, new perspectives, and new ideas. Video games do all of these things, but they do it in a way that's personal to each player. They're more than just a product. They're a powerful combination of art, storytelling, and technology. They are the art of the future.
Thank you, Liam, for that strong opening. Sophia, you have a different view. Please share your opening statement with us.
Thank you. Liam makes some interesting points, and I do appreciate the incredible skill that goes into making a video game. However, I have to disagree with the conclusion that they're art. Video games are a very advanced form of entertainment, and they're a craft. But they're not art in the way we traditionally and correctly understand art. First, and most importantly, we must remember that video games are commercial products. They're created by large, publicly traded companies with a primary goal: to make a lot of money. The main objective is commercial success, not artistic expression. Art, in its purest form, should be about expression and ideas, not just sales figures. A painter or a writer creates something to express a personal vision or a deep feeling. A game company, on the other hand, uses market research and focus groups to create a product that will sell to millions of people. The business side of it comes first. My second point is about the artist's vision. Art is usually connected to a single artist's unique perspective. We talk about a painting by Picasso, a symphony by Beethoven, or a film by a specific director. But who is the, quote, artist of a video game? A game is made by a team of hundreds, sometimes thousands, of programmers, designers, marketers, and managers. While they're all very talented, the final product is the result of a corporate process, not a single, personal artistic statement. It's a corporate product, not a personal work of art. Finally, the game part of a video game is a problem for art. The main goal of a game is often to win, to get points, to complete levels, or to beat an enemy. This focus on winning takes you away from deeper thinking and feeling. When you're trying to solve a puzzle or win a battle, your mind is focused on strategy, not on reflection. This is fundamentally different from looking at a painting in a gallery or reading a poem. The purpose of a game is to be won. The purpose of art is to be experienced and contemplated. Therefore, video games are a sophisticated craft, but they're not art.
Thank you, Sophia. You brought up a very interesting point about the nature of the artist. You said that art comes from a single artist, not a large team. But what about other collaborative forms, like films or theater? They're also made by large teams of people, with actors, writers, and designers. Can they be art?
That's a fair question. It's true that films are collaborative. But in great films, there's usually a director with a strong, central vision. The director, like a Martin Scorsese or a Jane Campion, guides all the artistic choices, from the camera angles to the actors' performances. They are the central author of the work. In many video games, that central vision is weaker because it has to serve the gameplay. More importantly, the player has the freedom to ignore the story, to run around in circles, or to try and break the game. The player's goal to win can work directly against any artistic message the creators intended. The experience is too variable and controlled by the player.
May I respond to that?
Of course, Liam.
I see that point differently. For me, the player's freedom isn't a problem. It's the magic of video games. It's a new type of art where the creator and the audience build the experience together. The developer creates the world and the rules, but the player creates their own personal story within it. The player's story is just as important as the developer's story. It makes the art more personal and more powerful, not less. It's a shared authorship, a conversation between the creator and the player. That's a new and exciting evolution in art.
But is it a conversation if one person is just trying to score points? The game aspect still seems to be a barrier to the artistic experience you describe.
Not all games are about scoring points. Many modern games, which we often call indie or independent games, are focused purely on exploration, narrative, and emotion. Games like What Remains of Edith Finch are basically interactive stories. You walk through a house and discover the history of a family. The goal is simply to understand and to feel.
Let's turn to Sophia's other point about commerce. She said video games are products designed to make money, and this stops them from being art. But many of the world's greatest artists created their work for money. Artists like Shakespeare and Michelangelo were professionals who were paid for their plays and paintings. Why are video games different?
That's an excellent point. Most art throughout history has been commercial in some way. People sell books, music albums, and movie tickets. This doesn't reduce their artistic value. Many game developers are true artists. They have a vision for a world they want to build, or a story they want to tell. They want to create something beautiful and meaningful. The fact that their work is also a product that's sold in a market doesn't change the artistic intention or the final result.
I believe the level and nature of the commercialism in modern video games is completely different. Michelangelo was paid a commission to create a work of art. The art itself was the final product. Many modern games, especially mobile games or big online games, are designed specifically to be addictive. They use psychological tricks to keep people playing for as long as possible. Furthermore, they include systems called microtransactions, where players are constantly encouraged to pay more money for small advantages or virtual items inside the game. This isn't about art, It's about business strategy and exploiting player psychology. This commercial design is at the very center of the game experience, not just a way to sell it. It changes the purpose from artistic expression to making a continuous profit. It feels more like a slot machine than a painting.
You're talking about a specific business model, which I agree is problematic. But that's not all video games. It's like saying all films are bad because some are just cheap action movies designed to sell popcorn. There are thousands of games without any microtransactions. There are independent developers who spend years of their lives making a small, personal game because they have a story to tell. To say that all games are just commercial products is unfair to these artists.
But even in those games, the primary interaction is one of challenge and reward. You solve the puzzle. You get a piece of the story. You defeat the boss. You get to see the next part of the world. This structure of work for reward is the grammar of games, and it's the grammar of entertainment, not art.
I think you see art as something very passive, something you just look at. I believe art can be active. A game can challenge your mind and your skills, and at the same time, make you think about difficult questions. The challenge can actually make the final emotional moment more powerful, because you have worked for it.
It seems we've reached the core of the disagreement. Whether the active, goal-oriented nature of a game can be compatible with the reflective, expressive nature of art. It's time for our closing statements. Liam, you have the final word first.
In the end, video games use visuals, music, and narrative to make us feel real emotions. They can make us feel joy, sadness, and everything in between. They allow us to walk in someone else's shoes and make choices that have real meaning inside their worlds. This interactive storytelling is a powerful new way to connect with ideas and emotions. It's a unique conversation that no other medium can offer. They're absolutely art, and they're only getting better and more complex. They are a true art form for the modern world.
Thank you, Liam. And now, Sophia, your closing statement.
To conclude, while I recognize the immense talent and technology in video games, they remain a product of commerce. They're designed for play, for competition, and for profit, not for the quiet reflection and deep contemplation that true art provides. They're a wonderful form of craft and design, and they're certainly a powerful form of entertainment, but they're not art in the same way as a painting, a novel, or a film. We should appreciate them for what they are: sophisticated and engaging entertainment.
And that's all the time we have for today. Liam has argued that video games are a powerful, interactive, new art form that allows for personal storytelling. Sophia believes they're highly advanced commercial products, where the goal of winning gets in the way of true artistic experience. This debate shows us that our definition of art is always changing and is always personal. We want to thank our guests, Liam and Sophia, for a fantastic and thoughtful discussion. For Culture Today, the final question remains with you, our audience. Thank you for watching.